in the third game. Sunday night, that's right, Sunday night. Tigers up against the Gold Coast Blaze. Big one for both of these teams, Drew.
And if you thought Joey Wright was going to change his strategy because Chris Goulding was not available, well, you thought wrong. Already in that first quarter, he's been able to use all 9 players, get them some minutes, and some decent minutes as well, as Mark Worthington misses one. And Matthew Burston comes in for his first action in about 6 weeks, coming off a hamstring injury. So, see what sort of game condition he is going to be in.
Good to see him back. And realistically, if they're going to make any noise, as Burston tries to get that lefty up there, and that would have been one he would have made if he was fully fit. Great with his hands around the basket, but if they're going to be a legitimate top 2, top 3 team, he needs to be in lineup.
Spot on, Steve. He may not necessarily need to start, but he's got to play starters minutes with that size, because when you look at Perth and you look at New Zealand, who I think we all concede are going to be a significant part of the playoffs, you've got to be able to match it with some of their big fellas, and sometimes it's just size that counts, and Matty Burston really is the only alternative with that size for the Melbourne Tigers. But Steve, it wasn't a very attractive first half from the field. Gold Coast Blaze shot 18 points, only at 31% in that first quarter. And the Melbourne Tigers only marginally better at 36%. So both these teams have got a lot more they can do offensively. And a lot of it, to me, Stephen, it's easy sitting up here in the box. It's shot selection. Identifying where your advantage is and where your strengths are.
De Leon looking for a teammate. Stephen Hoare.
Line drive. Goes down. Stephen Hoare, this is his 449th NBL game. Plays his 450th next week, ironically, against the Melbourne Tigers.
2, 4, 24.
Boy, Lucas Walker was getting to the rim no matter what. He just was going to run somebody over. Was fouled
Come back this way, baby.
early in that drive, but towards the end of it, he looked like the galloping gourmet. Benny Lewis for a long-range 3 comes up long. Kadee, who seems to be getting Chris Goulding's minutes, has played quite a few in the early stages here in the first half.
Worthington with a jam.
Worthington
2, push.
wedges it into the backboard and the rim.
First personal. Mark Worthington's on the line.
And Rattler, the courtside announcer for the Melbourne Tigers, put it so well. Worthington with the jam.
And that was again, another example of lack of weak side help by the Melbourne Tigers. Mark Worthington starts out on the 3-point line in the corner and just drives in, and got to have your defense ready. So if he is going to take that baseline drive, you've got someone there that can rotate and step outside that no-charge rule and put pressure on that penetration.
Gold Coast Blaze now with a 6-point lead, as the Tigers have no trouble with the pressure when Ron Dorsey goes baseline for the jam.
That'll do his confidence the world of good. 1 of 4 now for the field for Ron Dorsey.
Tease into Worthington. He backs down the slider. Benny Lewis Jr.
But I like the plan there. You identify Mark Worthington. He's your leading scorer. He's got a younger, less physical Benny Lewis on him. And just duck the shoulder. Look at Ron Dorsey go up way above the rim with the 2 hands.
Yep.
Like his mama taught him.
I was waiting for that.
Didn't know where you wanted me to go with that one.
I've known you for a long time. That was coming.
Look out.
Lucas Walker for the jam. Woo! That was even better than the other one.
Back-to-back slams for the Melbourne Tigers, and Lucas Walker, not only with the elevation, but with the length of that jump. Exciting play.
Extra pass goes to De Leon. Tease with the offensive rebound. Read that one as an air ball and hustled right to it. Dillon travels. Tried to take it in, that extra dribble.
Just a little
comes up with the turnover.
Sorry, Steve, just a little too much. But look at Lucas Walker. That is some strength, some power in those legs, and just raw athleticism.
And that's how you land, too.
With a little bit of...
That's a nice landing.
A little bit of panache on the landing.
And a little rim swing.
Off the ball. Ron Dorsey just trying to fight over the baseline kick. And Mark Worthington makes sure the official understands that he got a little shove from Ron Dorsey.
Ron Dorsey and Worthington have a little laugh over that one. De Leon waits for his screen, turns the corner. He pulls up for another long three. Comes up very short on the last 3 threes. And that one finds its mark. Gave it a little extra arc and a little extra something. Dorsey gets it into Walker. Lewis, his pull-up jump shot, just gave it a little too much at the end. Worthington over Burston. And they tip it back out to De Leon.
And that's the value that Matty Burston brings. When guys start penetrating, you got a big fella in there that can intimidate that shot. And that time he's not there, and that's the difference. Just force Mark Worthington to change that shot, that first miss.
Don't push. I'm going now.
Have a look at the rebounds. Melbourne Tigers picking it up a little. Benny Lewis, good hustle there again by Lucas Walker for the tap down to Daniel Dillon. Heads up play.
Yeah, those are the ones that don't show up on the stat sheet, but your teammates love you for it. Worthington. A little more bounce in his step. Worthington gets Matt Burston with his hands in.
22. Matty Burston, second. Trigger, coming in.
We heard that one from up here. Worthington really let out a roar.
Cam Trigar and Indo Eubank coming back into the game for Matty Burston. But it's the Gold Coast Blaze with a handy 7-point lead. They lead at 29-22. 5 minutes and 48 seconds remaining into the second.
The Lexus CT200H gives you the luxury of choice. Sport and eco modes for sporty driving or eco cruising. All at your fingertips. The world's only luxury hybrid hatch. The Lexus CT200H.
Welcome back to the cage here. Tigers coming up against the buzzsaw in the Gold Coast Blaze in some ways, because they have not completely been blazing away, but they have been taking care of business on the glass. 22 rebounds to 8 for the Melbourne Tigers.
And there is something for everyone when you come to an NBL game, Stephen.
Good atmosphere here at the
Great atmosphere.
They've had great crowds here this year.
It's their 5th sellout of the season. It's their 10th home game. So good numbers, and great to see the fans coming out right across the country and over in New Zealand supporting great product. Some exciting games. None better. Game of the season we saw last night between the Townsville Crocs and the Sydney Kings. And not only the fact was it a double overtime thriller, but just some real big time plays made by a number of different players.
It was like everybody was hitting big shots. Jacob Holmes, Michael Cedar for Townsville, Eddie Gill. Of course, Luke Martin was the man for Sydney Kings, and really Ben Madgen, but when Martin went out of the game, oh, three and a half minutes in the second overtime, Sydney just drew a blank after he left. I'm sure Sydney don't want to relive that over again. Daniel Dillon shooting it on the way down with 3 seconds left on the shot clock. Connects, making it a 7-point game.
Gold Coast Blaze having a look at a little bit of a 2-3 zone. It looked like it was heavy zone principles anyway on that defensive set. Just mixing it up a little bit. And when you got a team that's not shooting the ball well, Melbourne Tigers only 1 of 8 from the 3-point line. You have more chances of having success with those zones because it takes away those penetrating options and forces the opposition to do something which they're not having a lot of success at.
Gibson with a super pass into Will Hudson. He gets the finish.
It's just real good ball movement. I heard Joey Wright in one of the timeouts asking for that ball movement, and just see why. When they execute like that, they find the open man down the middle. Scoring becomes a lot easier.
Quickly get it to Adam Gibson on the ball reversal, and he's looking for a post up into Will. Will down low. Hudson is fouled, and he'll go to the line. It wasn't a pretty post up by Will Hudson, but effective. And you get the feeling that that's a lot of his game. It's not pretty, but he brings the same type of energy every single night.
The Gold Coast Blaze are big by committee. That is, they've got a number of guys like Mark Worthing, Stephen Hoare, Anthony Petrie, Will Hudson, that they are reasonable in size, but the biggest of that lot is going to be 6'8", so they don't have that real huge inside presence. And Will Hudson's been solid this season without being necessarily spectacular, averaging 10 points a game, but an area which I'm sure the Gold Coast Blaze would like to see a little bit more out of him is on the rebounding end. He's only averaging the 5 per game.
Missing both of those free throws, and Liam Rush just blows by Hudson like his feet were nailed to the floor. Making it a 7-point game again. Petrie spins. Travels. I was wondering whether they're going to bail him out on that one and give him a foul.
Just a little hop, spun, and the guy was right there waiting for him, and he lost his balance.
Ubaka back into the game for the Tigers. Eventually, they get it to Chaga, then back to Dorsey. Chaga with the spin, shoots it from behind the backboard. Seen him hit those before.
Real tough shot, though, particularly for the right-hander on that right side of the floor to get your arm around.
And they finally contested that spin move. It's so quick by Cam Chaga. De Leon. A lot of dribbling around for the Blaze. Eventually, Adam Gibson gets it with 1 second left. Petrie with the offensive rebound. Tigers did everything but go get the ball.
That breaks your heart if you're Trevor Gleeson. You look at it and you say, well, in isolation, good job by Cam Chaga to contain the quicker Andres De Leon. They force up a tough shot, and then they give up an absolute gimme on the second shot.
Chaga again. Doesn't miss those too often, but he comes up short on that one. Gibson trying to take the good defense of Daniel Dillon. Worthington outside the 3-point line, not even close. Ahead to Liam Rush. He jams it.
Jams it easy, too. The pass was a lot harder than Daniel Dillon made it look. Good touch pass floater down to the streaking Liam Rush, who caught it in stride, made life easier for him. And Andres De Leon burps up a ball handling error and turns it over.
You don't see that too often. I mean, he can get careless and make some turnovers on drives, but just handling the basketball around the perimeter, he's one of the best you'll see in the competition. But you do things that are difficult. He makes them look easy. You do them difficult enough. That's going to happen every now and then.
You might just pick me up on it. No, I'm going to go and get Start making reads. Everyone's running back. We've got Trigard, just come and get him in halfway. Idris's got him one-on-one to the hole. Be smart now, just play. Stop thinking so much.
Right here, we're going to look to jump this, okay? First pass, we're going to trap this. All right? You ready? So whatever this guy do, if he goes, we're going to get this hard. We got to shed away. We're a man, okay? So if he kicks this and go, we're going on it hard, all right? They'll probably run something out of the shuffle. If they do that, if they swing it here and then swing it there, wait till it's swung and it's got to the 45 before we go. Got it? Then we're going to play the hard. As he go away, boom, go hit that. Go hit it, okay? Right here.
Joe, you're right. Let's see what they do when they double team this first set for the Melbourne Tigers.
Adam Gibson very vocal in that timeout as well, as the coaches Joey Wright and Ronnie Radcliffe got together and sorted out what they wanted to convey to their team. Adam Gibson's having a real good season. He's another one that's on the cusp of Boomer selection in an Olympic year, so a lot at stake for him as well. And the fact that this team, the Gold Coast Blaze, have got potentially 2 Olympians on their squad is the reason why most experts predicted that they would be a championship contender. They really haven't lived up to that form this season, but still a long way to go for them. They only played the 14 games.
Petrie gets it back to De Leon. 5-point game on that sweet hesitation drive from Rayenda Ubaka. De Leon one-on-one.
He's feeling it.
Step back for 3.
Had a little look at Daniel Dillon, too, after he knocked it down. Just created some space for himself and drilled the 3. Got a guy that quick and handles the basketball that well. When he starts banging down jumpers, watch out. Liam Rush for 3. Chaga tries to keep it alive, but it goes to Adam Gibson.
De Leon 3 of 4 from the 3-point line. He gets that little shake going on. He's so quick to get to the basket. He always has that ability just to create some space. Cam Trigard, it'd be a nightmare for him trying to guard Idris De Leon, but he used his size well. Just made him shoot over a hand.
Quickly goes to Dorsey. He pulls up off the backboard. No good. Long rebound goes to Petrie.
Ron Dorsey on that play, you just see that he's got some mind games going on. Wide open 3 to start with, and he gave it up for the 1 dribble penetration. When he's in rhythm, he's shooting that ball every single time.
Petrie backs down. Liam Rush, but kicks it to Stephen Hoare. He can't get it to go.
Like Anthony Petrie got away with a good shove in the back. Only 30 points in a half for the Melbourne Tigers. Just all sorts of problems on the offensive end.
Gibson finds De Leon, sets his feet. His 3-pointer's good. Shot clock down to 3. And takes it out to an 11-point lead. Ubaka, a much-needed 3-point basket for the Melbourne Tigers right before halftime.